Welcome to the Juicy Bits and Things podcast. This is a place where we offer women a space to find the courage to not feel guilty when saying no to others. Through consistency, setting boundaries, and creating sustainable habits, it permits them to walk away with the win. Creating this win just means we show up for ourselves first. Welcome to our first episode of Juicy Bits and Things. I am Allenia Renee, and I am coming here. I just wanted to really introduce the podcast to you. I just finished watching season 1, episode 10, which is the last episode of And Just Like That. And that's a spinoff, for those of you that don't know, of Sex and the City. Followed their lives and where they were at during that time. I know for me, I did. And now, And Just Like That is bringing us into our 50s. And I know for myself, not just being a Black woman, but being a woman, it just was so empowering to have shows like Living Single, where you had women and men navigating life in New York City. And you had also during that time, right after that was Girlfriends, and as a Black woman, seeing that was phenomenal. Identified characteristics in these people that I wanted to be like. And then there was, the show Sex and the City, which a lot of dating, was really covered in this show. I mean, of course, and the dynamics of friendship. All those shows that I just mentioned, the nostalgia of the friendships that were formed, bonded, and just evolved over the space and the course of each episode really helped me to see that I needed those friendships and I desired those friendships, but, I let life allow myself to not experience those things at a point in time. When I was in high school, yes, I had friendships. I had, one phenomenal friend at the time in high school. And I would say that she was my high school and, into my college life and my married life and, giving birth. She was there for all of that. And in between that, I actually gained some other friends that helped me navigate other spaces of my life. Then, as you grow and you expand, then you get other people in your life. And I went into a different space, and I guess you could call it a chapter in my life that did not incorporate high school and college in it. And then I had another really close friend who was my aunt. And then, as I got into my late 30s, early 40s, I retreated because of so much hurt and pain that I was feeling at the time, and confusion and everything, and the embarrassment of everything that I was going through. I chose to kind of invest and put myself into my career because that was something that I had more of a capacity for. It didn't mean it was the right thing for me, but at the time I thought it was. And I think we all have those moments where we retreat. But then in my mid-40s, I gained some sister girls. And that evolution of friendship was something that I needed to get me through my mid-40s. And then from there, I started evolving again and gained another friend. I identified with each of these women, and I identified with who they are, and there was a part of them that I wanted to know the stages, and I wanted to do the things to get to that point. Whether it was their confidence, whether it was their free spiritness, whether it was their courage to deal with adversity And whether it's their steadfastness and conviction for what they believe is right, whatever it was that I chose, I needed that. I needed that representation around me. And I see this in the show, and that's why I'm bringing this up in this first episode, is because I really want to, dive into friendships and talk about the realistic nature of friendships, because in the episodes of And Just Like That, these women are going through different things, and they still have to navigate the love of their friendship that they have. And as you evolve, you'll find yourself saying that you no longer need to lean on them because you are now going into a new chapter. And leaning on them, I don't mean that you don't need them, but you no longer need them for that bit or that thing, right? You don't. And that's what happened in this last episode. And that's why I thought that, hey, this is a great start. As long as you live, you want to grow. And as long as you're growing, you will evolve. And I say all of that to say that your core friendships will always be your core friendships. Like my friend from high school, she will always be my friend. She will always be my friend. My sister girls they each will always be my friend. But as we evolve, we each are going to form friendships with other people that's going to help us to also navigate the new chapter in our life. And it doesn't mean that your core friends can't help you. It's just an enhancement. My husband says that all the time. You want people in your life that enhance your life. That enhancement can be just a little small thing, or it can be a huge thing. But it's still, nonetheless, it's still an enhancement. And that's what friendship should be, an enhancement to your life. You're enhancing their life, they're enhancing yours. I want to take this further in our next episode, but I just came on here to introduce myself and this podcast. Yes, you will hear me rant. You will hear me talk and give my opinion. You will have other hosts that will come on to host with me. And I'm hoping to be able to get some guests in here as well. But I know for a fact that the soul of this podcast is for you. It is for you to help change your thinking. And with that, you will change how you feel, which ultimately changes your pattern of behavior. Because we want to ensure that we are filling our cup first and giving others our overflow. I want to welcome you to episode 1 of Juicy Bits and Things, and stay tuned for part 2 of our friendship edition. See you in the next episode.